What is promissory estoppel? Have you ever made a decision based on someone's promise, only to find out they changed their mind? That's where the concept of promissory estoppel comes into play. It's a legal principle that can protect you in situations like this, especially in real estate investing. Promissory estoppel is about enforcing a promise made by one party to another, even without a formal contract. This happens when the person receiving the promise relies on it and suffers a loss if the promise is not kept. In real estate, this principle can be quite significant. Imagine a landlord tells a tenant they will renew their lease at the same rent. The tenant, trusting this promise, decides not to look for other housing. If the landlord later refuses to renew or tries to increase the rent, the tenant could use promissory estoppel to enforce the original promise. This helps prevent unfair outcomes when someone relies on a promise made to them. To establish promissory estoppel, there are a few key elements to consider. First, there must be a clear and definite promise made by the promisor. This promise should be intended to induce action or forbearance from a reasonable person. Next, the promisee must show that they relied on that promise in good faith. This means they genuinely believed the promise would be honored. The promisee must also demonstrate that they faced some form of detriment or financial harm due to their reliance on the promise. Lastly, enforcing the promise is necessary to avoid injustice. Promissory estoppel serves as an exception to the general contract, the rule that requires a promise to be supported by consideration, which is something of value exchanged. In real estate, informal promises or assurances often occur during negotiations or lease agreements. These may not meet the formal requirements outlined by the statute of frauds, which typically mandates that certain contracts be in writing. Understanding promissory estoppel is essential for anyone involved in real estate investing. It can influence the enforceability of promises related to leases, purchase agreements, or other property commitments, where formal contracts may be absent or incomplete. This principle helps ensure fairness by holding parties accountable when their promises lead others to take actions that result in harm. In summary, promissory estoppel is a vital concept in real estate contract law. It protects individuals from unfair situations when they relying on promises made to them, even if those promises are not part of a formal contract.